Believe it or not, most entry-level SOC interviews aren't trying to stump you. What they're trying to do is understand what you know and get a good feel of, do you have what it takes to be an analyst? In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 questions to help you get prepped for your first interview or your next interview. So stay tuned for that. All right, why should you listen to me? I run a global SOC and I am interviewing people all the time, reading resumes all the time, and I know a few things about what those types of people are looking for because I do it every day. So let me go ahead and spill those secrets so that you have a much easier time when you go through it. All right, so what's the first thing we want to talk about? Well, how do you approach these interviews? A lot of times what the hiring managers are looking for, people who can kind of teach themselves, right? Are you able to Google? Are you able to understand, teach yourself, understand where your weaknesses are, continue to shore them up? How long is it going to take me to get you up to speed, right? So this is how much do you already know? Directly correlates to how long it's going to take me as a hiring manager to get you to where you need to be. So that. 2, do you have the right personality in general, right? Are you able to, do you work on your own, like free time studying? Are you motivated in this industry? Do you do stuff to stay current? All these things are very important because the cybersecurity world is continuously moving and we're always already behind the power curve. So if we're not doing stuff outside of work, we're already behind. And so typically a lot of folks like to see people who love it, who are motivated by it, and who are continuously pushing the boundaries of that knowledge. So there you go. All right, so top 10 questions, let's go. Ports and services, pretty common. This is straight out of Security Plus. It's not meant to stump you, but these are things you should know. The more you know, the less you have to look up, the faster you move. Tip here, get a sheet. Do one of these SEC Plus study guides. Professor Messer has them. Study the top ones. Look at them every time before your interviews. They're almost guaranteed to pop up. Study them. Easy. How does DNS work? This is number 2. Very fundamental in how the internet works, right? How do we resolve these human readable things to computer oriented stuff, right? So this is, I type something in, it goes to a DNS server to resolve, and then it sends the IP back to the host that searched it, and then it goes there. In there, it also looks at local caching to see if it already has it, if it's resolved it before. There's this whole authoritative loop that it goes to say, hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this? Before it gives up. So this is something I would definitely look up, understand it a little bit more than I just explained, but dig into it more so that when they start asking more questions about it, because they will kind of push to understand how much you really do know, that you do have those answers. So look at it more. Number 3, walk me through your process if you get a malware alert. This one, what we're looking for is to see that you know more than to just say, hey, the AV caught it, I don't have to do anything, and then I'm gonna train the user. I hear that all the time. Like, no kidding, that is very similar to what I hear in interviews, and it's an instant fail on the question. And the reason is because this isn't what we do in the SOC. We don't just say, all right, it caught it, we're done. We are analysts, we're investigators. We're looking to see, did it actually completely run? Did it do anything bad? So we're looking at logs to see what it did. Then we also want to know where it came from, right? Did it come from phishing? Did it come from stolen credentials? Did it come from an exploitation? These types of things. How did it start? That's one. Did it go anywhere else, right? So we're looking to hash up to see other systems to see if they may have it. And then we're doing stuff like if it did actually trigger, we're isolating, we're rolling credentials, we're providing training to the system, we may be re-imaging the system. Then we start taking steps. But think about it holistically. I hate business buzzwords, but it's pretty apt here. We want to think about it as an experience, not as a single, let's just do this one thing and we're done with it. That's not how SOC work works, and it may blow into a full-scale investigation. So think about that. Again, study this. If you're not aware of it, dig into it. SEC Plus, I think, has some really good stuff. Lots of great blogs out there as well. Next question. What's the difference between encoding and encrypting? This is very, very key, right? Encoding isn't meant to be secret or secure. It's typically used to make sure the data is in a state that the application can accept it and it won't get corrupted. Encryption, on the other hand, is designed for secrecy. And there's usually a key that reverses the process so it becomes readable. Lots of protocols work. HTTPS is encrypted. A lot of data is encrypted in general because it's a requirement for compliance client. So something to keep in mind. That's all you need to know are those different things. Now, they may dig into some other questions about different types of encryption and whatnot, but they just really want to know, do you know the difference between the two? Sometimes they'll throw in, what is a hash? So look at all those. If you're not familiar, dig into it. All right, what else here? Explain lateral movement. So this is something that's really, they're gearing towards, do you know what the attacker methodology is, the kill chain, the MITRE attack? All these things are basically the same thing, attacker methodology. And the reason why it's so important is, as an analyst, we typically start an investigation somewhere in the middle. And using that information we actually start with, we have to identify all the beginning stuff, all the end stuff, in order to build the full narrative of what occurred in this attack. So when we ask about lateral movement, we're saying, okay, how did we get here? Well, there had to be initial exploitation, potentially privilege escalation, potentially a variety of other types of attacks in MITRE, in that they're typically, now they're looking to progress their attack on the other systems on the network, right? That's what lateral movement means. We're moving from one system to another, or one to many, and we're progressing our attack to some means, whatever that is, right? Whether we're ransomware doing something, or we're trying to take over the domain controller to get to all the things, whatever it is, we're moving from one system to another. But expect them to dig into other topics as well, other types of attack categories. So go study them. MITRE is a good place to start. All right, explain beaconing, or how you would find C2 beaconing in a network. So if you don't know what this is, command and control, so C2, that's what C2 stands for, is essentially how an attacker communicates activities for a compromised host to do. So typically they go through this attack, they have persistence, and they have a shell on the system, and that system will call back to a server somewhere on the internet to get commands or things to do. So that's C2, right? And there's typically like a small, hey, do you have something for me? Hey, do you have something for me? That's called a heartbeat. And how we look for these are patterns on the network. We're looking for the same size packets going back and forth consistently to an external server. So internal, doing that externally. There's a few other variations, but this is pretty much what they're looking for you to answer, is something that can, like a pattern, a consistent pattern from an internal host to an external host. We're looking at network logs to make that determination. So there you go. Quick, dirty answer for you. All right. So the very final thing here is that we want to ask candidates, how do they stay current with threats? Just like I spoke about in the beginning, if you're not studying, you're already behind. And so you need to be doing stuff every day. Hey, I'm in Try Hack Me, hitting new boxes. Hey, I'm in Hacker News. All these things, right? I'm listening to podcasts. I'm on X. I'm there grabbing this information, understanding what's actually being done today so that I can apply it to my training, my labs, my work when I do get employed. And we want to see that, because if you're not doing anything, you're probably going to be very hard to teach. You're going to be slow progressing compared to someone who's in it, who loves it, who's always doing stuff with it. And typically that's what we look for, really motivated individuals ready to get in the game. All right, with that, last advice I want to give you is practice, practice, practice. Record yourself, work with your peers, have them ask questions or take turns to practice answering these questions, and you'll be fine. You'll be ready for when you do get an interview. If you want any more tips, check out the rest of my videos. Hop on our Thursday night streams from 7 to 9:30, where I teach you real hands-on stuff, and you have an opportunity to ask questions about your current path and what you're dealing with from a real cybersecurity professional. So until then, we'll see you around. Best of luck.